Hi everybody, we are live once again on Wednesday. So now we have changed our timing to 6:30. If this is your first time seeing us at my page or Jen's page, I'm Esther. I'm from Malaysia and Jen is from Singapore. And we are both doing this series of winning minds, winning lives. So it is the fifth session that we are actually doing this. So today's topic, we will be talking about this topic that actually many people likes to discuss, whether it is at work or in the family, and it is something very generic, or we could actually go in detail as well. So today's topic, let's review it. It is success. So
Yeah.
Jen, when you hear this word success, what does it really mean to you?
Success is actually, I think, a very huge word, but it can
Mm,
also be a very simple word to me.
mm,
When you ask me, right, what it means to me, actually, I would say at different stage of my life, I define success very differently.
okay.
Yes. When
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, right,
Mm,
in my 20s, for example, success means wow, I get good job, good paying job, and then I have a car, and I have a certain type of car I want, certain type of
mm,
handbags I want, etc. So that's the 20s, right? So in 30s, then success would be different, even like
mm,
maybe achieving a certain level in my career, achieving
mm,
certain title or whatsoever. So it's very
mm,
different. But now,
mm,
even as a mother, I mean, I'm a mother to two teenage boys. To
mm,
me, success then is also very different now. Success is not just in terms of monetary part.
mm,
Success to me now no longer is measured in terms of money.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is also like from a parent's perspective, right? I would think that success means that when my kids are being grown up
Mm.
with, I would say they are, if I can groom them into a men of good character,
Very
yeah,
important this one.
a man of good character,
Mm,
and with all the good virtues, to me, I feel that is my success. One of big part of my success. Just one
mm.
part of it. Yeah, I will share
Yeah.
the other part later. How about you?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, when you are sharing, I actually see myself also
Mm,
having almost similar success at different stage of my life. And I seem to realize that at the beginning of our life, right, we seem to see success as something very big, as in we want to go to top in our career path, possibly we want to continue to climb to a certain
yeah,
level that we feel that is success, maybe as a manager. Um, Maybe as I think CEO is a bit hard. It will take quite a long years to actually climb to that level. But manager, I guess there are many people who actually want to do that because at that level you have that ability to be more flexible in certain sense rather than always be pressed under and always listening to instructions and commands from different people. So at that stage, we really put in a lot of effort and time. And most of the time at that stage, we are not married. It's just us alone. So at that time, success is something very important to us because we've
yeah,
studied so hard. So you just want to make sure that we put whatever we have to the company and make sure that we get in terms of position and in terms of salary, something that we deserve. Correct or not?
yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What you were saying? Yeah.
No, yeah. So after having family and then having kids, then somehow we shift our mindset shift. We still need money, but at the same time, we seem to treasure. As in our priority change, we seem to treasure relationship more rather than just monetary compensation.
Right.
That's what you were sharing as well. So I feel that in this sense, everybody, whether you are married or not married, it's quite similar in that stage. Up to a certain stage, you will just chase monetary compensation, you will chase position, but up to a certain stage, you will just feel that everything is just not that meaningful anymore. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I mean, there is more to just fame and money. There's really more to it. You know, I recently came across this quote that I want to share with everyone here, which I feel is very, very real, and it seems to resonate with me. Is by this guy called John Wooden. He says, right, success is a peace of mind, which is a direct result of knowing you did your best to become the best that you are capable of being. So it just so resonate with me because it is like a peace of mind because I know that I have already done my best and I know I'm capable, I really done my best. And you know, you know it's like there's no regrets.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel that is a different type of level of success. because for example, you know, let's say you feel that I have done so much and I've achieved so much, but actually you know that you have not done your best. You're not putting your best. You only put in, let's say, 70%, but you can do better. I just want to cite an example. You know, sometimes children, right, when they go for exams, they will not. Some kids they don't put in their 100%. Maybe they put in 50%. Some children are that, right? They put in 50% of their effort, but they get, I would say maybe 50% effort, they can get maybe 70, 80 marks.
Correct.
Okay, I'm sharing this is a real life. It happened to one of my son. So he just put in very little effort, but he can get generally quite good grades. So is this success? So maybe to him,
I think it is your own yardstick, lor. How you want to measure.
Yeah.
So it is not always like we must compare to another person to measure success, but it is our own level of expectation.
Right.
So it could be like you say, your son, right? You were saying you're talking about your son, right? He only put in maybe 30%, and he can get 70%, but similar age peer, he only put maybe 70%, but he's only getting below. So it is that yardstick that we place upon ourselves. That's where I feel that is a better measurement of success rather than trying to compare with people around us. Because when we tend to do that, everybody has different exposure, different background, different upbringing, different education. When you tend to compare apple and orange, you will never get something that something that you will feel satisfied with. You are always fighting to compare, like how maybe some parents sometimes I'm guilty of, to compare my kid with another kid that is similar age.
Right, yeah. But I would say, of course, we talk about having own yardstick, but yet we also don't want to, you know, being too perfectionist sometimes, right? So it's a blend. So I always, you know, there's so many success quotes that we see out there. But one thing that I really, really believe in is that whatever definition that we all come to see, or your definition, my definition, at whichever stage of our life, very common, we always see this quote is success is no accident. So I also truly believe it does not come as an accident, right? It is truly a whole combination of hard work, perseverance,
determination,
a lot of discipline. Of course, at times it comes with a certain sacrifice. Then it's a positive mindset. All these, and most of all, I feel is we must love what we do. We must be passionate about what we do. Only then
it will last.
It will last. It will keep on moving, right? If not, we may let that push. Yeah. So that's how I feel.
Yeah. Then just now you were mentioning about success. But I mean, when I'm listening to what you share, right, I suddenly remember this quote that success is never overnight. We tend to I mean, we always tend to imagine that success can fall from the sky. It's like, yeah, so it's like we want that. I mean, everybody wants that. But if success really comes that easy, do you think you will really treasure it? So this is one question that I always pose to myself. I mean, I also want quick success. Nobody will deny quick success. But the effort that we actually put in as we climb that ladder of success, I feel is much more important than when we reach the success height, as the highest success that we want to reach. The process itself, to me, is something that will forever imprint in my life, rather than the title that I reach or the salary that I reach. To me, always is the process. So success to me is a process, and that process itself is very important for me to be able to grow as a person, and also to be able to share and guide others as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because I sometimes look at quotes from I would say famous people, but people who we know. So there's this quote, right, by a very famous basketballer, Stephen Curry. He says, right, success is not an accident. Right? It is a choice. It is a choice. So a choice meaning that we actually firstly need to set our goals. We need to pursue them with our desire, with our drive, our dedication. So like what you say is very true. It is a journey that we have to walk through. In fact, some people may say that, well, I am successful. I don't know your thought about this. Some people may say that, hey, I'm successful at work, but I am not successful at maybe relationship. I'm not successful. What's your thought about that? Because this is a very interesting thing, right? But some people can say they are successful at certain aspects of their life, but not successful.
Actually, this one in TV also got say. Sorry, drama. But yeah, I mean, okay, some people, to be honest, right, everybody got 24 hours. You could be successful in certain aspect of your life, but at other aspect, you are not successful. And it's pretty normal because everybody only have 24 hours. So if we want to measure success in that sense, right, to me, I would really prefer to have both career and also family in terms of success. So for my case, it's more of success parenting for now. So yeah, this is something that I feel really. So success. Tyler, you say?
That's possible, right?
Once again?
You think that's possible, right? As in like
yes.
Because there are some people who say, no, if you are success at work, then you cannot be successful with the family because you spend so much time at work and then you don't have time for family. So do you believe that we can be successful at work and with the family?
Yes, now I do believe. Last time, no, I don't believe, because I find myself just too overwhelmed with so many things, right? I don't have that capacity to actually cater to all this. But now, after really having that time to understand what I want, I'm able to manage around it and to see which is more important. And from there, I actually plan out, and that's where I work towards my success and my goals in life, which matters to me.
You are totally putting priority in what we want in life, right? I also believe it is possible to have success at home, at work, or even at other aspects of our life. I do believe we can. Maybe like you say last time, I don't believe, but now I also believe that we can manage, because ultimately it is like what you say, our own yardstick. And also just now say, right, as long it is something that it gives us that peace of mind that we already put in our best to do something that we know we are capable of doing, then that is good enough. And success, there's no like end point. It's not like you reach that's finished already, right? There is always another level that you can look at, something else that you can look at. So it's also like a continual sort of like journey that we need to carry on even with success. So I feel it's definitely doable.
Yeah. And you mentioned one point that is really important, which is peace of mind. If we don't have that peace of mind in doing what we do, and we think that we are successful just because of material things, I feel that is something not something that won't last, and eventually you will fall into that dark alley whereby you just have midlife crisis.
Yeah, because there are many times we know that, I mean, we know many people like um, they can be very rich, they're very successful in terms of money, but they don't have that peace. And in fact,
Mm,
they don't feel happy,
mm,
right?
mm.
So that to me, peace of mind is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
actually today we cover quite a lot of things. So yeah, okay. So
Yes.
today we shall wrap it up. Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise we might continue on. Success is actually a very big topic that we can talk
Right.
about. But today we just want to share something briefly,
Mm,
generally, and also at the same time close to our heart. What is
right.
success in our hearts? So if
Yes.
this is something that resonates with you, or something that you feel that you will be able to share your input as well, just feel free to comment below our live video. And we would really like to hear from you what the success means to you. This is something that we hope you will be able to just think about it, stop and just think about it and see whether you are currently at that stage whereby success really gives you peace of mind. Right, Jen?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for wrapping up so nicely, Esther. And so we will end our sharing today here. Thank you so much, everyone who is watching us live or watching our replay. And
Mm,
we look forward to catching you next Wednesday, same
mm,
time, 6:30. With
mm.
that, once again, have a nice evening, everyone. Thank you, Esther.
Goodbye. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.